Telling truth in all things. Delivered by Source through Rene Avery, Messenger. We stand in truth in all things. We are telling what we are hearing and knowing. There is within the universe that which causes one to wonder who and when, to seek and to become. This series is to be aware and discover your place within yourself. It is an investigation into reality and where to go with it. This series is on the significance of 2012, the challenges and changes. It is presented by the Los Lunas Dowsers Association. Part 1, Allow the Universe to Teach You.
For 20 years in a successful career, she heard a voice that sounded like the voice of God. Since that time, she has continued to listen, learn, and grow spiritually. She now shares this gift with others, helping them to find their pathway, God and a joyful life. In this special talk, Rene will focus on the challenges and changes of 2012 with an emphasis on questions you may have. Okay, great.
Okay,
Welcome, Rene.
thank
I'm
you.
so glad you're here.
And thank you, Gary. I'd like to start out with everybody just closing your eyes, and let's become at one in the universe, okay? There lies within each of you an incredibly beautiful, beautiful soul. And thank you for coming to Earth. In these times, it requires those of your ilk, because there's so much to do, so many messages to be delivered. And you are a part of that. And so we come together this day to say thank you. And those of us on the other side congratulate you. Go in peace. I am not, and I'm not saying this isn't okay, but I'm not channeling and I'm not intuitive. I hear, just like I hear you talking. And when it first happened, how would you like to be driving your car, just having a great time on vacation, and for the ladies especially, all of a sudden you hear your name being called out of the back seat of the car. God has a funny sense of humor, I'll tell you that. I stopped the car, thank God somebody was there to help me because I was on a freeway, and I don't know about you ladies, but I wanted out of the car. And going 65 down a freeway ain't going to happen. I got out of the car, slowed it down, got out, managed not to crash me near the car, looked in the back seat and there's no one there. I don't know about you, but that's a little strange. For me it was at the time. And probably a couple of weeks later, I was staying with some college friends, and the man of the house was an EMT on 24-hour duty. So it was just his wife and me at home. And I got up to travel from the guest room down to the ladies' room at the end of the hall. And I heard that voice again. And it called my name 3 times, and I said, okay, whoever you are, if you're from God, you can stay, and if you're not, get away from me. And I found out many years later that that's called, and I suggest all of you take that, that's called testing of the spirit. So that we have people who are running around here on Earth plane who have never transitioned, and if we're really relaxed, we can hear them. And there's, other things like that, and I'm sure you're familiar with it. But if you do that, I'm told, the spirit is clear. Now, I didn't know to do that. I knew nothing about nothing, except that I come from a family of dowsers, of which I'm very pleased. They are incredible. My grandfather was a dowser. He's Swiss-German. Brought it over with him, taught all the family how to do it. My brother was a dowser that was nationally known, and we lost him recently. So it's an incredible gift and practice, and a good way to start on a pathway. I was taking a 6-month hiatus from my career because I'd gotten so stressed out by it that I was starting to have angina, and that was 22 years ago. So you can well imagine it wasn't my time to do angina, and I said, all right, I'm out of here. But you know what? It doesn't take long when you go on the road and live day by day. It doesn't take much. And it changed my life. What started out as trying to get well from stress, 6 months, living day to day, to 2.5 years later with the gift I have now. And so if any of you have anything, and I invite you to ask me about it here as a part of what we're doing, we discussed doing things on 2012, but as a group, you have something you'd prefer to do, then we'll do it. Gary?
Yes, Ray, things been kind of crazy now with all the solar flares and the tornadoes and
Oh, you like those, huh?
foot and you know, a lot of strange things going on.
What he's asking, the storms, the tornadoes, the sunspots, all those things. And understand there are tornadoes on the sun as well going on right now. And is that a part of 2012? And the answer is yes. Yes. Are we going to self-destruct even though it looks like we might? I don't think so. I was looking at something about 17,000 years ahead and we're still here. So when you hear we're going to self-destruct, say no, say your prayers, understand what you know, and go on with your lives because we're not going to join that. All right? It's an evolution that has been predicted so long ago that it would take us a while to count there. And we are now in the manifestation of that. And guess what we're doing? You know what? When you take a look at the center of the universe out there and you see these pictures, we're almost in the middle of it. And that's what's happening. Our energy is going up so high. How many of you can feel that 5 years ago and now your energy is different? Yeah. And why do you think?
Because we're moving with it.
Yeah. She was setting up that camera a while ago, and her auric field was like out that, and was watching people come in. Your auric fields in the last 5 years have gotten so much more intense. How about the confusion? Do you guys feel confused about stuff? Yes.
Never admit it.
Are the forces of light going to take over?
They're already
from
here.
The Illuminati soon.
They're already here. They're already here. Not to worry. Forces of life are here. Say your prayers, say hello, congratulate them, talk to them, and say, hey, we're with you guys. They're here. Yeah. More than we've always had them on Earth plane, by the way. But not as many as now. We've had more than ever. And if you see someone walking down the street in kind of a stupor going like this, say, hey, buddy, good job. Because they're having a bit of a problem, too, because the energy's so rocking and rolling here. And so they're having a little bit of difficulty. So if you think somebody is, they tend to be somewhat attuned outward, but they're here. Does that make sense? And so if you get that feeling, or you see an auric field about this big, white and purple, for those of you who see that, that's one of them. But since they're incognito, don't tell anybody. It's your secret.
They do their best work in secret?
I'm sorry?
Don't they do their best work in secret?
Oh, yes. In anonymity. But sometimes when you have the gifts, or you're really internalized, and just like with her, I don't see auric fields all that much. It's not one of my better gifts, but man, I saw hers because of what she's doing. Is a God present? She was told to go, get involved in this and do this. You have the gift, and so she's tinkering with this thing. And I saw her auric field go like this, and wow! And I get excited because it's not one of my best gifts. I can see them once in a while, but it's a real treat for me. There may be those of you in the room, however, that sees them all the time. And if you watch for not entities, let's put that wrong. Watch for the powers of light or the angelic that are here on Earth. They're here for a reason, and they're coming in more and more and more and more.
Are the UFOs and extraterrestrials going to come out in the open this year?
Well, they kind of have been all along. They have been all along. Okay, and let's talk about that for a moment. Starting in about 1946, 47, we started getting a lot of ETs. Now, I lived in Taos, New Mexico, and up there, everybody is so aware of them, it's not even big news. I was told that they came in at that time because we had that sweet little A-bomb sitting over there. And I was told they're actually from the Pleiades, the major part of them are from the Pleiades. Thank you for validation. She's sitting there going, and this is this is good, yeah. But up there, they're so plentiful, and we see them. People don't even pay attention to them anymore. But they're, generally speaking, from the Pleiades. That's called the mother of the universe. The Pleiades, incredibly loving. All of the planets and the suns and everything are totally in love. that's where all of the solar systems are going eventually, and they're totally in love. It takes them an hour to get from there to here, 15 minutes to get out of the gravity of that area, and another 45 minutes going interdimensional.
Are they the ones doing the crop circles?
You know, that's an interesting question. Did you know that those are signals to us in language? They're actually messages to us about love. If any of you happen to have one in your back pocket, we could tell you what it is. We could tell you what the language is, what it is. And did you notice they never damage anything? Yes, Gary?
Are the Arcturians involved in the crop circle creation?
The Mercurians?
Arcturians?
Arcturians? I don't know. Think Arcturians and what you're thinking about, and I'll tell you. Just think about it. Close your eyes and think so I can pick it up. Child of light and love, what we see is this, not these crop circles. Other places, yes, but not here. Nope, not here. So let's see who's doing them. Okay, just think of the crop circles again. Okay. Children of light and love, what we see is this. They are those that are coming from outer space, it's true. But those who are doing them are more akin to your solar system. Understand there are other of those out in outer space who are helping, and we see that they tend to be more toward the Palladians. Now we might be getting some of the others, but the primary ones are coming from Palladian.
Or is there such a thing as a galactic federation?
We see there is. All the planets in our solar system, and by the way, there are 17 of them. I was told that new one that came around about 4 years ago, I was told in 1992, that I was doing some work with a client who is Sumerian astrologer. Yeah. He came to me in 92. He comes from a family that are intuitive astrologers, and he took 5 years out, studied everything he could get on modern astrology, and he said there are holes in it, there are places missing, and no one knows what they are. And somebody said to come to you and see if you could help me with this. And I said, well, I'll ask, because when I do a new project, I always ask Source, is that mine or is it yours? I said, I'll tell you the absolute truth of what I'm hearing, and I'm not going to judge what you're doing. Well, After about 2 years, I went, yes, sir, I understand. And guess who I'm telling that to, you see? Because there is validity in it. And what it is energy interreacting. The whole universe is energy interreacting, creating, becoming. And that whole inner use is the auric fields of God. That's where all the energy comes. And guess what? We're of God, so we create energy. This room has energy in it that's never been created before because it took all of you to create it. Let me see what kind of energy we've got going on. Children of light and love, one moment, please. There lies within each of you that which says, I am. And it is a goodness, for you understand the I am presence is this is who I am. And it's a consciousness of God. And so we see that every single one of you in here have decided that this is a place you want to be. And so you come together in creative energy. Go in peace. So the sum total of our energy today is all creation, all creative. I might do another group and it would be learning about harmony or something. So how many in this room at this moment can say, no, I'm not creative energy today? Good. Good. I was told once, and it was a God message. Everyone is different in the universe. Every single person. And when we are not the truth of who we are, we cheat everybody else. There's a hole in our universe. I love you like you are. And I bet you anything, how many people in this room can say the same thing? I love you the way you are.